The Veterans Day ceremony at the local high school was winding down when Commander Rick Dawson spotted the old man sitting alone in the back row. He looked about 70, wearing a faded jacket with no insignia, his weathered hands folded in his lap. Something about his bearing made Dawson pause, that unmistakable quality of someone who'd served. Before we continue this incredible story, drop a comment and let me know which country you're watching from. And please, stay until the very end because what you're about to hear will leave you absolutely speechless. Dawson approached after the ceremony. His dress blues crisp and decorated with the trident that marked him as a SEAL. "Sir, did you serve?" he asked, extending his hand. The old man stood slowly, his grip surprisingly firm. "Long time ago, son." "Different era. Which branch?" Dawson asked, making conversation. He enjoyed these moments, connecting with the old guard, hearing their stories from Vietnam or the Cold War. "Navy. Pilot." The man's voice was quiet, almost reluctant. Dawson's interest piqued. Naval aviators had their own brand of courage. "Fighter jock, huh? Bet you have some stories." He grinned, trying to draw the man out. "What was your call sign?" "I'm guessing something embarrassing." "That's usually how it works." The old man hesitated, his eyes drifting to the flag hanging on the gymnasium wall. "Silver Sky," he said finally, so softly Dawson almost missed it. The name hit Dawson like a physical blow. His smile vanished. His breath caught in his throat. Around them, families were gathering coats and heading to their cars, but Dawson felt frozen in place. If you're feeling the intensity of this moment right now, smash that like button. Trust me, you need to hear what comes next. "Silver Sky," Dawson repeated, his voice barely above a whisper. "You're Lieutenant Commander Robert Silver Sky Martinez." The old man's jaw tightened. "I go by Rob now." "Just Rob." Dawson's mind raced through everything he knew, every legend whispered in ready rooms and SEAL team briefing spaces. Silver Sky wasn't just a call sign. It was a ghost story, a tale told to new pilots about what real courage looked like. December 1972, Martinez had been flying in a 7 Corsair over North Vietnam when his wingmen got shot down behind enemy lines. Instead of returning to the carrier, Martinez had stayed, circling for 6 hours, guiding rescue helicopters through heavy fire, taking hit after hit to his own aircraft. When his fuel ran critical and his plane was barely flying, he'd made one last pass, drawing enemy fire away from the rescue bird, then ejected over the ocean with nothing but hope and a prayer. "They said you spent 3 days in the water," Dawson said, his throat tight. "That you nearly died from exposure before a fishing boat found you." 3.5 days, Martinez corrected quietly. "But my wingman made it home to his family. That's what mattered." "You received the Navy Cross?" Dawson continued, pieces falling into place. "But you never talked about it. You finished your service and disappeared." Martinez shrugged, a gesture that seemed to carry decades of weight. "I did my job. A lot of good men didn't come home from that war. I got lucky. Seemed wrong to make a big deal out of survival when so many didn't survive." Dawson looked at this man, this living legend who'd been sitting in the back of a high school gymnasium like any other grandfather. He thought about his own decorations, the pride he felt in his SEAL trident, the way he'd walked through this ceremony with his chest out. And here was a man who'd literally given everything, who'd been willing to die so another man could live, and he wore no marks of it at all. "Sir," Dawson said, his voice cracking slightly, "it would be an honor if you'd let me buy you coffee. I'd love to hear about your service if you're willing to share." Martinez studied him for a long moment, then nodded slowly. "Coffee sounds good, Commander. But I don't tell war stories. I'll tell you about my wingman, though. Tommy Chun, he became a doctor after the war, delivered over 3,000 babies. That's the story worth telling." As they walked toward the parking lot, Dawson realized he was in the presence of something rare, a hero who measured his worth not by what he'd done, but by what his actions had allowed others to do. Silver Sky had saved a life, and that life had saved thousands more. If this story reminded you that true heroism is often quiet, that the greatest warriors are sometimes the ones who never seek glory, then please subscribe to this channel. Share this with someone who needs to understand what real sacrifice looks like. These stories deserve to be remembered, and heroes like Silver Sky deserve our deepest respect, even when they ask for none. Thank you for watching, and never forget the price of freedom.